Today, we'll be finding the square of any two-digit number in just 10 seconds. We will be finding the square of any two-digit number in 10 seconds. So we have 56 squared and also 95 squared. So we will be using an alternative method in order to calculate our squares of two-digit figures. We will be using an alternative method to find the squares of two-digit figures. We'll be starting with 56 squared. So first we will square the 6, and when we square the 6, that gives us 36. So that gives us the third term. Then we will square the 5 in order to have the first term. So 5 times 5 is 25. Then we will obtain the middle digits, which is simply by multiplying the 5, the 6, and also the 2. And 5 times 6 is 30. 30 times 2 is 60. So we have the third term, which is 36. The second term is 60. And the first term is 25. The first term is 25. The second term, which is also the middle term, is 60. And the third term, which is also the last term, is 36. So for the middle and the third term, that is for the second and the third term, we will only be able to accommodate one digit. We will only be able to accommodate one digit for the second term and for the third term. So what we will simply do is to retain one digit and carry over the other one. So for 36, we'll retain 6 and carry over 3. So when we carry over 3, we'll have 60 plus 3, which is 63. And then we will only retain the 3 and then carry over the 6. So we retain 3 after adding 3 to 60 to make 63. And then we carry over the 6. Why are we carrying over the 6? So for the last two terms, that is for the middle term and the third term, we are only supposed to retain one single digit. So we carry over that 6 from the middle term to 25, and that gives us 31. That gives us 31 because 25 plus 6 is 31. So the final version for the first term, we have 31. For the middle term, we have 3 because we're only retaining one digit. We carried over the 6. And then for the third term, we have 6. 6. 3, 1, 3, 6. We'll look at it again. Let's square the last term. We have 6 squared to be 36. We will square the first term. 5 squared is 25. We will multiply 5 by 6 and also by 2 in order for us to have the middle term. So 36 is what we have as the last term. 60 is what we have as the middle term. 25 is what we have as the first term. But the last two terms, that is the middle and the third term, can only have one digit. So what we will retain is the unit digits, and then we will carry over the other digits. So for 36, what we will retain is 6. We carry over 3, that is, we'll add 3 to 60, and that gives us 63. But we can only retain one digit, so that means we'll have to carry over 6, and then we will just retain 3. So we carry over 6 to 25, and that's 25 plus 6, we have 31, and therefore our figure that we brought down there will be 31. So the total value of 56 squared is 3136. So 56 squared is 3136. 56 squared is 3136. That is 3136. We'll look at 95 squared this time around. 95 squared. So what we'll first do is to square the 5 to get 25. Then we will be squaring the 9, and that gives us 9 times 9 is 81. And then to have the middle term, we will be multiplying 9 by 5 and by 2, and that gives us 90. 9 times 5, 45. 45 times 2 is 90. So it was the 9, we multiplied by the 5, and also we multiplied by 2 in order to give us the middle term. But like we said earlier, our third term is 25, our middle term is 90, and our first term is 81. So the answer is already here. The only thing is that the middle and the third term, that is the second and third term, are only allowed to have single digits, and then the other figures will be carried over. So for 25, we will have 5, we will carry over 2, and then we add the 2 to the 90, it becomes 92, but we'll only be able to keep the 2, and therefore we will carry over the 9. So 81 plus 9 is 90. So we have 90 as the summary of the first term. So the first term, we can have more than 2 digits. We can have more than 1 digit. But for the middle and for the third term, we are only supposed to have one digit. So the final answer is 9025. 9025. So 95 squared is equals to 9025. 95 squared is equals to 9025. That is 9025. So we'll do a bonus. Let's look at one more example. 83 squared. Square the 3, we have 9. That gives us the third term. Square the 8, and that gives us the first term. And then we multiply 8 by 3 and by 2 in order to get the middle term. So the first term we have 8 squared, which is 64. The third term we have 3 squared, which is 9. And then the middle term we have 8 times 3, which is 24. 24 times 2, 48. So those are the digits we multiplied in order for us to get the middle term. So we bring down the 9. Just to recap, the middle term and the third term, that is the second and third terms, are only allowed to have single digits. So if you have a double digit, you carry over one of the digits to the next term. So in this particular case, 3 squared is 9, so our 9 is a single digit, so we are good to go. Our middle term is 48, so we retain the 8, and then we will carry over 4. Our first term is 64, so we carry over the 4 to the next term, so that's 64 plus 4, and that's, we have 68. We have 68. So our 83 squared is 6889. That is, we combine the 68 from the first term, the 8 from the middle term, and then the 9 from the third term. Thank you very much.